Are you looking for a way to help your brick and mortar business drive more traffic and increase your sales? Look no further than the Receipt Paper Podcast. In this podcast, Joanne and Kyle provide their sage advice on how to make your brick and mortar store the hottest spot in town. Whether you're just launching a new business or trying to grow an existing one, these informative episodes will leave you inspired. In each episode, Joanne and Kyle take on a different topic related to running a successful business. They offer practical tips based on their own experience as owners of multiple brick and mortar locations. So whatever challenges you're facing, they have actionable advice for you. From finding a location and executing your build-out, to merchandising and customer experience, to sales and marketing, Joanne and Kyle have you covered. With helpful advice from these experienced entrepreneurs, you are sure to learn how to increase your sales and have your business running out of receipt paper in no time. Let's dive right in.
Hello and welcome to episode 21 of the Receipt Paper Podcast. My name is JoJo and I will be your host for today's show, which is all about email marketing. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through why you need to be prioritizing email marketing at your business and how you can get started. Email marketing is one of my absolute favorite topics. It's what I take care of on the back end for our business. So Kyle doesn't tend to do much with email marketing, so he's not going to join us this week as I'm not sure that he would have much to contribute, but we both definitely reap the benefits of email marketing. When we added in email marketing to our business, we saw an increase in our sales and the amount of value that we provided to customers. And it's something we preach to all of our students, and those that implement it certainly see a benefit. So I'm super excited for today's episode. But before we dive in, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, TapMango. TapMango is one of the best tools we use in our business every single day as a loyalty and rewards program. Our customers love it. We love it. It works great to build that loyalty, gain return business, and continue to get our customers back into the door. If you want to explore TapMango, you can get a free demo with them if you go to masterbricknmortar.com/tapmango. Okay, so in today's episode, we will be talking about one of my favorite topics, as I mentioned. Email marketing is a super low cost way to drive traffic, increase your repeat business, and bring more value to your customers and create not only customers, but raving fans. I'm telling you, when we started using regular, consistent email marketing, we saw a huge difference. I'm talking about an increase in 10K revenue month over month. That's huge. And email marketing costs practically nothing. So it is so worthwhile to implement for you. Our sales increased, customers were coming in more, and those customers were coming in telling us, hey, I saw your email about XYZ and I absolutely loved it. So I'm a huge advocate and highly encourage you, if you're not utilizing email marketing, to start. And if you are utilizing email marketing, to make sure that you're being consistent and bringing value. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that. There's so much that I can share with you on this topic. So I've actually broken this up into 2 episodes. So this will be a 2-part series. In this one, I'm going to walk you through how to get rolling with email marketing. I'll be sharing with you my favorite email service provider, how often you should be emailing, what you should be emailing, and a really cool subject line tool. And in next week's episode, I'm going to walk you through my favorite strategies for collecting emails so you actually have people to email. So hang tight. I hope you enjoy this episode and then come back next week for more. So before we dive into how to get started with email marketing, I want to share with you some statistics so you can really see the power of why email marketing is so powerful. So according to Social Insider, in 2023, less than 10% of your Instagram followers are seeing your posts. On the other hand, when you email, 100% of your subscribers should be seeing your email and they make a conscious decision to open it or not. So you have a much higher opportunity to actually get in front of your customers. Additionally, you do not own your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, no matter what social platform you're using, you do not own those followers. And I'm telling you, this is huge. So, those of you that do have a huge following 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, some of you have incredible followings, and that's great. That's amazing. But what happens if they make a shift or you lose your business account? I've seen it happen so many times where people suddenly get shut down from their business account. You're screwed. So you need to have an email list. You need to get your followers from social media onto your email list because that is a list that you will own. This is something that you will develop over time and grow over time, but it is oh so valuable. I spend so much time posting on social media, I'm sorry, I used to when we first opened. And to be honest, on places like Facebook, they don't really push business pages. They really tend to highlight more of those personal pages. So I realized I was kind of wasting my time, like we had one or 2,000 followers, but maybe like 20 people were seeing my post. It just wasn't worth the time I was putting in. But when we started developing an email list, so many people were seeing our posts and what we were talking about, and it was so much more worth our while. Another study done by the Data and Marketing Association says the average ROI for email marketing is approximately $42 for every dollar spent. This means on average that businesses can expect a significant return 42 times your investment. That's huge. What other thing are you doing out there that you get an ROI like that? Not many things in the brick and mortar business realm. So, if you are someone who wants to make sure that your time is worthwhile and is going to the right things, email is certainly something you need to be focusing on. So, have I convinced you yet to start an email list? I hope so. But you are probably saying, how the heck do I get started? So don't worry, I am going to break it down for you. The great thing is email is really easy to get started in and add to your business. I'm talking you could add it in this week. It's not something that can take you months and months and lots of money to get started. It is really a low cost investment for you and your time. So how exactly do you email your customers? So you're going to need an email service provider. This is a simple software that you will store all of your email subscribers in, and you will send out your emails. So my favorite for brick and mortar businesses is a software called Flowdesk. They make beautiful email templates that are really easy to customize. They can match your brand. You can just choose which templates and add photos in if you'd like, or you can keep it simple. They have really easy to use tools where you can create forms and opt-ins that you can add to your website or post on social media so people can opt in, which we will talk more about next week. But I absolutely love Flowdesk, and it's pretty low cost. And you can get 50% off your entire first year if you use the link in the show notes for this episode. I'm sharing that link with you. It's at masterbrickandmortar.com/21. So go check out Flowdesk. I think with the 50% off, it's like $20, $30 a month. Super low cost. I'm telling you, email marketing is so worth it. So once you do have your email service provider, you'll start uploading your email subscribers if you have any already, and then you can start sending out emails. You will want to connect your domain. You can watch how-to videos on how to do that. I'm not going to talk you through all of that, but it is not very complicated, I can assure you. So once you have your email service provider, your next step is to start emailing. Just get started. But how often should you email? You might be wondering. Well, my general rule of thumb is once a week. This is the sweet spot that we have found. Once a month was not enough. People weren't seeing our emails enough. We weren't staying in front of them enough. And more than once a week gets a little excessive. That's when we start to get lots of unsubscribes and people that, just feel a little bombarded by us. So once a week, I have found is our sweet spot. Now, your customer demographic, you know best. You might know, when is the best time for them. Maybe you have more of an older audience that likes to be emailed in the morning, or maybe you have a younger audience that it's better on the weekends. You can figure that out that's best for you, and it's something you can always test too over time. So just start with something. Start maybe with Tuesdays, every Tuesday, and see what that is. But then maybe switch it up to Wednesdays and see if you have a higher open rate. This is something that you can play with. You don't have to get it right from day one. Maybe start with bi-weekly, see how that goes. And then if you're not seeing the results you want, increase to weekly. So just choose something and get started. Now, you might be saying, Jojo, what the heck am I going to write about? And I get it. I know when I sat down to write my first email, I got a little overwhelmed, but don't worry, I got you, friend. Here's the thing. This may be difficult for a lot of you that use email marketing to promote your sales or just promote your products, but I do not want you to only email about sales or your products and services. I want you to repeat after me. Yes, do not only email about sales or selling your products and services. People don't want to just be constantly bombarded with your offering. They want value. So I want you to make your emails so valuable that customers can't wait to read them. They get excited to open those emails. We now have customers that say they look forward to our emails each week, and it's because they find value in what we have to share. So, emails should entertain, inspire, or educate your customers. I want you to think of things like how to's, tips, or educational content. For example, we own a wellness center, so I send emails on how to get the most out of a sauna session or tips on how to get a better night's rest. If I owned a clothing boutique, I would send things like how to style for a date night. Or if I was an ice cream shop, I might send something like how to plan a stress free night out with my family. You see what I'm doing there? We're providing value to our customers that's relevant to our product and service, but it's not just selling the product or service. Value, value, value before you sell anything. So, for subscribers that are on our email list for brick and mortar, you likely are one of them. I send things like that are relevant, that are how to find a location, how to get your business funded, tips to drive more traffic to your business. I'm not constantly selling you because I want to show you value. I want to bring you value and show you why you should buy something from me. So when it does come time to sell something, when I do have an offering available, you guys hopefully are like, oh my gosh, she's brought me so much value. I can't wait to buy anything from Kyle and Joanne. And that's what I want you to do at your business. I want you to bring your customers so much value that they are like, oh my gosh, they have sent me so many tips and cool information and things to do around town that I can't wait to go back into their business. Or when somebody asks a question that is relevant to your industry, they're like, oh, you got to go talk to these people. They are the experts on that. And I encourage you to go look at emails that you are opening, emails that you're finding value, and mimic them. See how you can do that for your business. So when you do have sales or promotions, I absolutely want you to use your email list because It is a great way to get the word out and get them through your door. But that's not the only thing I want you to be emailing about. There's companies out there, and every week I'm getting, oh, 20% off this week. Oh, 10% off this week. Oh, new product this week. And yes, it's great, but it doesn't really entice me to go purchase because I know every week I'm getting a sale promo. And so when I'm ready for them to buy, there's probably going to be another sale. And quite frankly, I don't open them much. So the ones that I'm opening are the ones that are enticing to me, that benefit me. So take a notice of what emails are you opening? What emails are bringing you value? What would you like to know more about for your industry? You might be surprised how interested people are in learning more about your products and services and how they work, or tips on how to better utilize them, or just inspiring content on how they can better their life in some way. So, another way that I come up with ideas and inspiration is utilizing ChatGPT. If you're not familiar, ChatGPT is the new AI tool. It is super user friendly, easy to use. I recommend you go over there and you just type in and tell them what industry you're in. So, I would say something like, I own a wellness center in Dallas, Texas, and please provide me valuable content ideas or tips or how-tos that are relevant to my industry. You can ask anything to ChatGPT, but you want to be as specific as possible about what your industry is and where you're located and things like that. But they will chat GPT, the robots out there, will provide you with tons of ideas, so many different valuable insight on ideas that you can utilize. Now, you can use ChatGPT as well to write your actual emails. You can say, write an email to my customers that is a how-to guide on, how to prepare for a night out. Now, I am not a big fan of copying AI tools word for word. I still encourage you to add your personal touch. I think that you can kind of tell, I can tell when I read things, I'm like, this sounds a little AI robotish to me. I also am not convinced that you're not getting copied content from somewhere else. So I think just from an ethical standpoint, I really like to take it as a baseline and then add in my personal touch, and add in my own voice. So I promise you that you don't need to be a professional writer to write emails. I want you just to pretend like you're talking to your best friend and start writing out, and it will start flowing and flowing. I don't like to read emails that are like, hello, Joanne. We invite you into our store today. Like, no, like I want it to be conversational. Hey, hey, Joanne, how's your week going? We can't wait to see you inside the store. Check out some things that we've been working on lately. Here's a little behind the scenes of my new morning routine. Thought I'd share it with you because you might find it relevant. I mean, that to me is so much more readable and beneficial than something super professional. So don't get overwhelmed or let it halt you that you feel like it needs to be beautifully, perfectly written. Just get conversational with it and be your authentic self. Let people in on who you are and what you're doing. People will connect with you on that. Now, to help you get started, one of my favorite things to have in your email service provider is a little welcome sequence. So basically, you can set up a welcome sequence to where anytime someone is added to your email list, they will get this welcome sequence. So they get to familiar with who the heck you are, what your business is, and maybe the story behind it, and some useful tips. And people that have that warm welcome to your email sequence are less likely to unsubscribe because you're telling them, hey, this is who I am and here's what you can expect from me. So it's very valuable. And I've created a welcome email sequence template for you to use to help you get started. So this will outline it. It's a fill in the blank type template. Make it really easy for you to set that up for you. So if you head over to the show notes, you can grab that free email sequence template. You can find that at masterbrickandmortar.com/21. Go check that out. I think you're really going to like it to help you get started. Now, lastly, I want to share with you a new tool I've been using for subject lines, and I'm really loving it. It's called subjectline.com. Super easy, but you can go put in a subject line that you're thinking of using in there, and it will actually provide you a rating on how likely it is to be opened. And then it even takes the extra step to provide you with other recommendations that might be more clickable. Subject lines are so important to getting your email opened, and you can get really creative here. This is another area that I want you to make note of. What email subject lines are grabbing your attention? As I see ones that really pique my interest and get me to open, I'll write them down. I just have like a notes tab in my phone and I write them down and I'll use something similar to it in my own emails. So check out subjectline.com. I really like it. I think you will too. All right, my friends, the important thing that I want you to get out of today is that email marketing is so beneficial and it is not difficult to get started. What I encourage you to do is to sign up for an email service provider if you haven't already. Go check out Flowdesk and the 50% off link that I've provided and start writing an email. Start with biweekly. Start with just conversational content on some valuable tips and information that you can share with your following. So let's recap what we've talked about today. All right, so I shared with you how to get started with email by signing up with an email service provider. There's tons of them out there, so don't be afraid to go scope out all the different ones. There's different features and functionality, but my recommendation is definitely Flowdesk. I think that they are great and simple, and they have everything that you need for a brick and mortar business. Once you have your email service provider set up, I want you to add in your subscribers and start emailing. Start just thinking of ideas. Go use ChatGPT to come up with ideas if you need. Go vet out what you're reading online and just start creating emails. Start sending them. I promise you, you will be amazed at how many people are reading your emails, and you'll probably start getting responses or people coming into your doors saying, "Hey, I saw your email. Love those tips. That was a really cool thing you suggested," and it's amazing. It truly is powerful. And I want you just to start making a list. Think of things that you find interesting, that your customers might find valuable. Maybe it's, local events going on in your town. Maybe it is a how-to video, a tips video. Maybe it's something entertaining. Maybe it's another podcast you listen to that you just think your customers might find valuable. You want it to be relevant to your industry, but it doesn't have to be a sales or promotional content. So you don't want to be selling in every single email. It's okay just to have an email that brings value, and then you say, "Hey, hope to see you in the store soon." So value before you sell. If you take one thing from today, if you are multitasking, come back to me. The one thing I want you to take out of today is value before selling. You should have 3 emails talking about valuable content like tips and how-tos before you have a sales email. So the more value you bring, the better your sales will do when it is time to sell. So please remember that. Okay, I know you will not be disappointed if you implement email marketing into your business. It does take some time. Your customers need to start seeing your content week over week or bi-weekly, whatever your rhythm is. But once you start and stay consistent with it, and that is the key, you need to stay consistent. You can't email every week and then stop for 2 months. But once you do that, you will start to see a benefit. I'm sure of it. We've seen it with all of our businesses. We've seen it with our students' businesses. So pick out what your rhythm is going to be weekly, bi-weekly, or even monthly if that's all the time you have. I do encourage more, but just get started with something. And go start writing some emails. I think you will be surprised by how naturally they come and how much content you probably have in your mind that would be super valuable for your customers. Okay, if you don't have an email list yet, maybe you haven't been collecting email addresses from your customers, that is okay. And if you do have an email list, but you want to grow it, we should always be growing our email list. Then come back and tune in next week where I'm going to share with you some of the best strategies that we've used for obtaining customer emails that continue to help us grow our list week over week. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Go visit the show notes to get our free welcome email template so you can start using that today. You can find that at masterbrickandmortar.com/21. I cannot wait to hear what email marketing does for you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll be back next week. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to the Receipt Paper Podcast, your go-to source of information for starting and growing a successful brick and mortar business. Subscribe to hear future episodes and share this content so that more people can access these valuable insights. If you're looking for more resources to help you with your brick and mortar business, visit masterbrickandmortar.com or follow us on Instagram at masterbrickandmortar. Thanks again for listening to the Receipt Paper Podcast. We'll see you in the next episode.